Hey everybody out there, Chris here, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. And we are 25.
Yep.
The big 25.
Hey guys.
Fourth of 100.
Yep.
Half of 50 away from the 200 comic book review.
Yep.
Looking forward to that. Huge things coming. And by the way, guys, there is a commercial I will be putting in between each and every one of these videos from now on. We are going to be working on other ones. Some are going to be serious, some are going to be funny. I did buy a couple of props that will be coming hopefully within the week.
Yep. And
yeah, you'll see them on the unboxing videos as time rolls by. But we're going to do some serious commercials where we're going to promote things that we like. For example, Big Bad Toy Store is going to be the commercial in between this one. It's no surprise to you guys, that's the first commercial I've made. But then there are other things that we're going to be talking about as time goes on also. We'll see. We'll talk about it. We're still in debate. There was one commercial we wanted to do this week, but unfortunately the thing we wanted for the commercial didn't come.
Oh, yeah.
So we couldn't do that. But there will be more comedic stuff. I promise you guys it will only go as far as about a minute. So figure 20 seconds per commercial. So it'll only be a minute's worth of commercials. I'll probably put an annotation up to give you guys the ability to skip, or I'll link the times after the commercial, so you can click that and skip over the commercials if you don't want. It's something funny. It's something to entertain you guys in between part 1 and part 2 of the comic review instead of giving you guys a straight up comic review. But as I said, guys, I'm still working on specific things that will entertain you guys, or that you guys will like, or something that you guys might be interested in checking out as time goes forward. For right now, there's only one. We will be adding more up until we get to a minute. Then, if we have any newer ones, we'll mix and match. We'll take some out, we'll put some in. Take one out, put one in. You know, you get the idea. News-wise this week, Marvel is not rebooting. It was announced today, as a matter of fact, that the #1 is for, you can buy #1s from Marvel on Comixology for free up until Tuesday. So
for free?
Yeah, so you're watching this Monday. If you guys are watching, get online right after this video and go check that out. If you're watching this after Tuesday, I'm sorry guys, it's too late. I'm trying to get you guys this news as soon as possible, but it's posted everywhere. So, and there's going to be a Comics Infinity of Wolverine wanted in Japan, or Japan's Most Wanted. So that's another good thing. Lots of stuff. Project Gamma, which is something to do with the digital stuff in the comics. So there's a lot of big stuff going on in the world of comic books and news and whatnot. And we will probably be talking about this coming Tuesday on the live show. So let's get into the comic books this week, which were released the first week of March. March 6th, 2000. Yeah, I was thinking of the number. March 6th, 2013. We're going to start off with DC. No indie books. However, I do have indie books in the digital pile, which I will have my digital review up this month. I pray the March stuff will be up since I started with this week's books already in a folder. So, Smallville, Season 11, Issue 11. You should have read this.
Why? They
brought something into this that I was never in 100 years going to. I never expected it. Okay, so it starts off, Chloe, Chloe is accessing, I hate using this phrase because it reminds me of SpiderMan, is remembering, or accessing the memories of the Chloe from, they're calling it Earth 2, and it turns out Earth 2 Clark was hunting down and killing all the media freaks. What Clark does that remind you of? The dark one?
Oh, with the red.
So yeah, so he was the main villain, and it turns out that Chloe in Earth 2 and Oliver Queen in Earth 2 were conspiring a way to assassinate, I guess he called himself Ultraman. And we get to see Jay Garrick, the very first Flash. Impulse and Superman confront him about the Speed Force, as well as the Speed Shadow, I believe it's called. I keep forgetting, the Black Rod Racer, thank you. And we also find out that Lex isn't getting any brain damage anytime soon because the machine was disappeared. Funny stuff. So, we get introduced to a new costume.
Oh.
It turns out that one of the ways that Emil Hamilton and Superman were figuring out to get him to get the radiation off of him was, and I love it because this references what happened in the comics in the 90s. He's like, you may recall our very unpopular possible solution to your radiation problem. Oh, you mean the one where I fly into the center of the sun? Yes, we decided against that as we had no idea when or how your body would absorb, would handle absorbing that much solar radiation. And then, I love it, this is what he said, yeah, you were worried I'd become energy. And it turns out that the suit is the Energy Superman suit. So it's basically the Smallville version of the Superman Energy costume.
Wow.
And this costume, the design and the way they did it was kick-ass. I loved it. It's just awesome. And it ends with Superman and the Black Racer colliding, and you see Bart just running to the aid of, Clark. And you also hear mention of Wally West, Barry Allen, which is him, and Max Mercury, which are other super speedsters. But this costume, when I saw it, I was like, whoa, they actually went the Superman energy route. And it's like he even has the blue energy coming out of his eyes. I can't stop showing this picture. It's so awesome. This was a really good issue. I loved it. I loved it. This was really good. If you guys were into Smallville, it's awesome how they're just adapting so much of the stuff that happened in the comic books now, because now they don't have to worry because they are technically part of the DCU. And they're also going back to older stuff that's been happening in the series. This was just an awesome book. A lot more happened. You'll have to read it to check it out. This stuff is awesome. If you read your books digitally first, I would definitely say check it out weekly for the digital updates. I would if I was into that, but I just don't read digital books yet. And this is a hefty book. I like my stuff in print still. So yeah, really awesome stuff. We go into double headers, but actually they're separate, so I don't have to show double headers this time. Animal Man issue 18. Animal Man is back to where him and Swamp Thing disappeared. And Animal Man's route, there is Swamp Thing 18, that'll be next. Animal Man's route leads him to where Little Wing, Maxine, and the others, this is the part where Maxine gives herself to the Rot in order to save her brother, mother, and grandmother, but enter Animal Man to stop it. And it turns out Maxine has some really wicked powers. She's able to pull the Rot off of people, and that's actually what she does to the agents, and she turns them back into their human form, which is interesting, so they're no longer part of the Rot. There is, however, one spoiler that I will give you guys here, and that's the part where William Arcane tries to kill Animal Man, but Cliff gets in the way, and it don't end well, and it says the next issue is a funeral. Now here's the thing everybody's saying, and wait a minute. When a person dies, in the word bubble there's a star, which represents death.
Right.
There was no star for Cliff, and it clearly says a funeral.
So that kind of gives you a question.
Yeah, but then again, I didn't see the solicitations for next month, so probably it is. I don't know. I'm just saying, for those of you that, if they did keep it up in the air, it doesn't have to be Cliff that dies.
I never knew that they used a star. That means,
yeah, when a person dies, there's that little star. You never noticed that before?
No, I never did, really.
You have to notice that next time.
Alright,
really good. Left out a lot. Definitely a really great read this week. I'm very hesitant though to see where things go from here, because you can see Animal Man and his wife kind of are, she's like, I can't deal with this anymore. And then the death of the son, if the son really does die completely, yeah, that's gonna put a big wedge between Animal Man and the rest of his family. Whereas in Swamp Thing issue 18, we find out the fate of Anton Arcane, and let's just say Abby makes the ultimate the ultimate sacrifice here, and actually has, I'm going to spoil these books because it's an epilogue anyway. She dies in order to become the Rot's new avatar, and yeah, artwork is back to being spectacular. And also, Swamp Thing dies kinda. I won't explain how it's kinda, you'll have to read the book for yourself to figure that out, but because now Swamp Thing is the green and Abby is the Rot, they can never be together again. And also, a little thing that's teased here is the Parliament of Trees says you've done your job. We have another avatar. There is another who could take your place, but she's not ready yet. So there is a quote-unquote she out there that's that can take his place, but she's still too young. So I have a feeling later on down the road we might see that, and that's where I'll probably drop this book if Alec Holland decides to walk off of Swamp Thing and it becomes this woman. But it leaves it open. He chooses to stay. He says, you know what? It's about rebirth, and I'm ready for whatever comes. So, technically, Alec Holland is staying for the time being. Very nervous to see where both of these stories are going to go now that Rot World is over. I don't know if I'm going to be interested. I know I'll probably be interested in reading Swamp Thing because I read some older Swamp Thing books and I found enjoyment in them. Yeah. So I might actually continue reading Swamp Thing. Animal Man, however, the only reason I read Animal Man was because it can join with Swamp Thing. So, Animal Man's definitely going to have to prove himself to stay on my pile. But then again, come on, it's good writing. And I believe Scott Snyder's the one that's leaving Swamp Thing, not Jeff Lemire on Animal Man.
Oh.
So, if anything, Swamp Thing, they both have a lot to prove. Now, we got to see for all readers. Now, we're going to have to see where it goes from there.
And speaking of Jeff Lemire, Green Arrow issue number 18.
Yeah, congratulations. Finally, one of the books you like is actually getting popular again.
Yeah, Jeff.
It's actually popular now.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino, if I said it right, I mean, they did it again. I mean...
They did it again!
This comic book was, like really amazing. Like, talks about, Oliver Queen, trying to find out, who set him up with
this
whole...
artwork is pretty good.
Yes, the artwork, I'll give you some of the preview of the artwork. They do talk about, I think he's new, they call him Komodo, and I won't tell you about him, you have to read the comic.
Oh, where I grew him, in memory of Damian Wayne, the death.
So you have to find out for yourself about Komodo, but Oliver Queen asks Henry Pith to work for him because he thinks Jax and Naomi dies. Speaking of Jax and Naomi, things don't go well for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
To the head.
That's going to leave you a headache.
Yeah, and a mark too. And Green Arrow went to Emerson's office and he found something like really interesting.
What is it?
Which is, well, I'll spoil it here. Spoiler is that he found out that Emerson has his father's trophy, and to top it off, both Emerson and him were on the island where Oliver Queen was.
So they were watching him.
Right. And the guy...
Oh, wow, that's sick and twisted.
I know, that's why I said it was really twisted. And then Magnus, who was the mystery guy, was in the picture. And he's just telling him, you know, to leave the city because of everything that's going on. And the ending part really got me saying, like, things don't look good for Green Arrow with the whole thing that happened. So, yeah, things are... you know, not looking so good. And for the paper headlines are saying Oliver Queen, you know, like, wanted for murder. By the way, Henry Pith finds out he's Green Arrow because he asked him for a sidekick. But you could find out more information on the in-depth comic review on Dark Avenger Inc.
Which is up now.
Which is up now, but I recommend you guys absolutely pick this up and can't wait to read the next issue. And that's it for this week.
And next, my top pick of the week in general from DC is Green Lantern issue 18. This was my favorite book. One of my favorite books this week. Basically my top pick for this week. Art changes between the regular world and the Dead World. And Simon Baz is in the Dead World with Sinestro and Hal Jordan. And just like that, Sinestro is now back to being the dirty, rotten person that we all wish would just be destroyed. So, just as much as we fell in love with the character as an anti-hero, we are now seeing him again as the villain or the darker of the Green Lanterns that we all want to see Hal Jordan kick his ass and send him back to whatever planet he came from without his power ring. So, basically, at first, Sinestro tries to fight the ring off of Simon Baz, who has a gun, and shoots Sinestro in the head.
Wow.
But, because they're in the dead zone, death is not permanent. While in the regular world, Bidge, or Badidge, however you pronounce his name, tries to reach out into Black Hand's ring and pull out Simon. Okay. But Simon finds a way, as we saw in the very beginning of Green Lantern, Simon finds a way to duplicate his ring once. And the ring goes for Hal Jordan. However, Sinestro and Hal get into a fight. Sinestro uses fear against Hal, and spoiler alert, but not really because we've been hearing about this. Sinestro ends up going back with Simon, and Hal gets left behind. Here's in the regular world. But there is a way for Hal to go back. I just won't say what it is just yet. But this ending was the ending of the week.
Didn't they show that a little bit in the last issue?
What do you mean?
That thing that you showed me that
No.
you wouldn't show? They didn't?
No.
I thought they showed some reference of it.
I'll be doing an in-depth review of this, probably, if nobody has already on Dark Avenger Inc. But this book was crazy awesome. And the ending definitely leaves me going, oh, I cannot wait for issue 19 now. Because I want to see if Hal's really going. Well, we all know he is, but at the same time, it's like Hal Jordan's going to have to pay a hefty price to go back to the fly. Kill it. Kill it.
Where is it?
I don't know. It disappeared. Oh, go away. Oh, there it is.
Hey!
I found it. It's dead. It's in your hair.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up on
You're
that.
welcome. This was my favorite book of the week. So that's it for DC now. We go into Marvel. Hey, look! It's Age of Ultron issue 1. Hey, look, there it goes.
Are you serious? That's what you're doing?
Not interested. I read
Wow.
it. I read it, and let me show you the ending. The ending I've seen so many times. It doesn't even jerk an emotion out of me anymore.
You know.
No, it isn't. This is issue 2.
Oh, it is? Oh.
This is the end. This is the last page to the issue. Captain America crying over his broken shield. How many times have we seen that? We've seen that in Fear itself. I believe his shield broke. We saw that in several.
Can't he just make a new one?
Yeah, though. I don't know. It's the Age of Ultron. It's an Elseworld tale. Every year, Marvel's releasing like a major event, and this time I'm just not willing to follow along. I'll wait for the trade paperback. If everybody tells me it was good, I'll check it out. This issue it was an average issue. I'm not saying it was bad, but I'm not saying it's something that grabbed me and made me go, hey, I want to read the rest of this, because it's freaking awesome. No, it didn't leave me feeling that way. And the chromium cover is awesome. It does pay, not chromium, it's foil. A lot of people calling it chromium. This is a foil cover. If it was chromium, the price would definitely be higher for this. The foil cover definitely reminds me of the 90s. The story was okay. The internal artwork was really good. I will say the internal artwork was good. It's just the story is not, it doesn't grab me.
It doesn't grip you. Yeah.
It doesn't grip me as much for an Elseworld tale. I mean, they should just bring back the what ifs. That's what everybody's saying.
Oh,
if this story, I'm watching other people's reviews. If I see this gets good reviews from other people, I'll probably end up getting the trade paperback in like June, because it's a 10-part series, 369. We're in March, April, May, June. There you go. June, July, the trade paperback will come out for this, and that's when if it was good, I'll buy the trade paperback. If it wasn't good, then I saved a whole bunch of money, because this is $3.99 per issue. That's 3 issues a month times 4 is what?
Well, 3 times 4 is 12.
$12 a month times 3 months.
36.
$36 for the whole series.
I have to do the mental math. I hate doing the
I would rather
math.
save $10 and pay $25 for the trade paperback, unless the trade paperback has the tie-ins. Then it might be $40, but still you save money. So there you go. Iron Man, issue number 7. Iron Man's in jail. He willfully gives away his armor and lets himself sit in jail, and he's tried for a bunch of...
Why did he give away his armor?
I don't know. And we get introduced to 451, a character that we're probably not going to see after the next issue. He explains his origin and stuff like that. He explains about it's basically his origin. And he wants to help Iron Man, and he tells Tony Stark what to do. And we saw the preview where he invokes Shea Taran, and that's basically where he fights, and he's gonna fight off all of his crimes. But because he was tried for so many crimes, yeah, he'll be fighting for days until he knocks out, and then it goes back to where 451 is explaining everything to him. And he's like, alright, so basically Tony Stark is going to be the distraction while 451 gets his armor and finds a way to save him. Yeah? I don't think so. I think 451 has a ulterior motive, and he's just using Tony Stark to be a distraction. And the next issue, yeah. Ooh. That basically sums up this entire book. Did a lot go on in this issue? Tony Stark headbutts a bunch of aliens.
And it's an AVX Aftermath.
Yeah, I don't know why they're calling it AVX.
It doesn't relate to it.
Yes, it does. It's all about the Phoenix Force. He extinguished it, and he was being tried for getting rid of it and destroying it and whatnot.
Oh, because from what I saw, it was
no,
just
he was being tried for it being gone.
Oh, well, then that makes
sense.
So,
we'll see in the next issue. It's Tony Stark fighting a bunch of aliens. And lots of talkie-talkie, and a character we're introduced to that we're probably going to see die or disappear after the next issue. So I don't know. And then this book, the last page made me want to buy the next issue, or else I would have probably dropped it. Cable and X-Force. Colossus gets lucky with Domino, because Domino is one of those characters that apparently sleeps around with every single X-Man she works with. Because there is a Wolverine and Domino sex and violence book, which I know a lot of people love to mention because she and Wolverine are naked in that book. Well, who? Cable confronts Hope and tells her that she can't follow along with him. She should lead a normal, he wants her to lead a normal teenage life. And he's like, do whatever you want. You just can't come with me. And there's this little friendly rivalry that happens between Forge and Dr. Nemesis. And Nate gets another vision. I'll show the vision off. It involves space. Of course it involves space, because everything lately in Marvel is space. So he brings the X-Force back together. Again, he even says, what I need is a team, an outlaw X-Force made up of folks who can do good work on the run. And the reason I'm buying it, I'm going to spoil it here for you guys, is, and you guys can see it, it's on the next cover if you didn't see the cover already. Colossus surrenders himself to the government. And that's where it kind of ends.
I thought I'd never see that. Colossus surrendered to anybody. I mean, he's Colossus.
Well, he surrendered because he doesn't want to be on the run from the law. He likes being on the right side of the law or whatnot.
Also, basically, it's like on the good side of the law instead of, oh, I get it now.
So that's Cable and X-Force. How I feel about X-Force lately is I'm not really a huge fan of Uncanny X-Force, but I'm getting it possibly because of the ending of the last issue. And once again, here, I'm not really huge on what's going on with Cable and X-Force, but the ending definitely makes me want to check out what's happening next. Apparently, all the all the X-Men, the classic X-Men from the 90s, are split up into different X-books. Wolverine has his team with Wolverine and the X-Men. Cyclops has Emma Frost and Magneto on his side in Uncanny X-Men. Colossus is in Uncanny Cable and X-Force. I mean, all the X-Men are separating, and Rogue is in Uncanny Avengers.
Well, you can't have all the X-Men books being on the same, paths. I mean, different paths makes it very interesting, Yeah. That's what I think, in my opinion.
I don't know. But Cable and X-Force, I leave up to you guys. And then either it's because I'm dead tired, because this was one of the last books I read tonight, and I'll probably have to fix it when I do my in-depth comic review on Dark Avenger Inc., or I'm just completely... this book really kind of went around in circles. Avengers issue number 7. Apparently, the galaxy or the universe needs to fix itself, so they have to. It has to anoint another. Oh God, what was it called? The White event happens, but it happens wrong, and what they need is they need to find the. Oh God, what's it called? They have to find the. The White event occurs. The world is on the verge of ascension on a universal scale. Ascending on a universal scale. The White event creates altars, heralds to shepherd this ascension. Basically, it's an ascension that happens, and Night Mask is the one that's supposed to help that happen. And then we get all this stuff that happens in this college, and we don't know why we're reading it at first. I want you to pay attention to that, though. And now they're looking for the, what's it called? It actually says it at the very end of the issue. The Star Brand, I believe.
Star Brand?
I believe it's the Star Brand.
Yeah, because I saw something about it.
Yeah. So.
It looks like this book's all over the place.
It's a little bit all over the place. And, basically there was an explosion near a college, and, it leaves the symbol of the person, the other. Yeah, a star brand. Yeah, they need a star brand.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, okay. And it jumps back and forth. 2 hours ago, 1 hour ago, whatever. So the Avengers go to the explosion. Things are going crazy. And then you get referred back to what you read before. And they make you note that one character was in each and every event. And that's basically who the star brand is. And it ends with him in front of the Avengers. Basically, he's always been ignored all his life, but now he has the power, has all kinds of power. So, like what? So this person that was ignored is ascending because the white noise happens, and the white noise happens when Shepard becomes. The white event happens. Yeah, the white noise I said, didn't I?
Yeah, it's the white event.
So the white event happens to ascend this person to a star brand, and now he's going to have a bunch of power, so he's probably going to end up joining the Avengers. Or going off into space with Night Mask.
I'm telling you, they're gonna do some with Marvel in space.
I'm sure kind of at the point where I'm like, really? I'm definitely going to be rereading this, but basically nothing happened here except we find out that this guy who's all over the book, like we find out the whole white event happens. Night Mask is there to help push everything along, but unfortunately the system is broken, or the universe is, what did he say, the machine's broken. It's the last white event, and the universe is broken, I believe he said. Yeah, the machine is broken, the universe is broken, so it goes wrong. The event goes wrong. I'm trying to explain this the best I could. And, yeah.
Basically, just things go wrong, and...
Things go wrong, and now they come face to face with the white event person, the star brand.
And then the next one's star brand determining...
Star branded, yeah. I was like, okay. This was interesting. So either this person's going to become a new supervillain, or Avengers are getting very heavily involved with the universe now. This is definitely leaving the whole Earthbound kind of thing. Jonathan Hickman must really love writing in space. Because Jonathan Hickman did the
Fantastic Four in space.
And they were always in space. So Jonathan Hickman must really feel uncomfortable staying on Earth.
But aren't the other comics in space, like you just said with Cable and the XForce? So
yeah,
there are other writers too.
Yeah, what can you do?
Like I said, Marvel space. I'm telling you, Marvel Universe goes to space.
I don't know. I'm getting the next issue, but I leave Avengers up to you guys. I mean, it's like, whoa.
It's like, whoa.
That's it. It's like the whole issue was what led into the white event, which caused an explosion at a college, and this one kid that appeared in several different places became Star Brand. I don't understand how he was in several different places. It was just like, okay. I was wondering why they were showing these... Thank you. I was wondering why they were showing all these different events, and then when you get to that page where it spotlights that person's in each and every one of those moments, it's like, oh, that's the Star Brand. To be continued. Okay. So, with that, we have to switch over. So, we got 3 more books left. Stay tuned after this little brief commercial interruption. Or this commercial, I wouldn't call it an interruption, this commercial break. Break! Stay tuned after the commercial break. We'll conclude this week's comic books. So, hang in there for, I believe, I only have one, so see you guys right after the commercial. Big Bad Toy Store, the #1 source for all your figure and toy buying needs and more. They accept all major credit cards and PayPal with no money down until your order leaves the warehouse. Click the link in the description below to start your shopping experience today. And welcome back, everybody, to this week's Dark Avenger Comic Book review. So we're going to continue with Venom, issue number 32. I will say this before we get into the book. I did like the artwork. The artwork was pretty cool, and the story was alright. To be honest, the story begins with Flash Thompson just, you know, he gets his new job, he's working in a school, and I don't know, I just feel like the first bulk of the book, which is this, was all about his normal life. Then he goes into being Venom, and his night shift, so to speak. And he finds this guy, we don't know who he is, or we do, and I just don't remember who he is. And he likes to eat, these parasites that are connected to his back like to eat people. Yes.
Just saying the character ill, but yeah, that too.
And Venom jumps in to save the day, but the monster disappears. So basically it's a straightforward issue. Nothing too crazy, you know, out of the way. The ending was the best part, though.
Is that who I think it is?
Yes, it is.
Oh, man.
Need I say more with this? Next time, do we really have to tell you what's next when you can see it for yourselves? Because you demanded it, we commanded it. Toxin's back. This was an epic final page. Eddie Brock comes face to face with the monster that Venom was fighting. He's like, "You stink of our other." So he's looking for Eddie. He's looking for Flash. He's in Philly. We've been waiting for it. This is basically the setup. Flash Thompson's got his normal life in check. He's still working the vigilante routes at night. And now we have Toxin. Toxin, who's there. Eddie Brock is in Philadelphia. And the all too eminent Toxin versus Venom is going to happen.
They're gonna let Flash win, even though Eddie Brock.
I don't know if they're gonna let Flash win. You don't know if they're gonna let.
Unless
Flash
they're gonna
win
team up,
Venom.
like you said.
They might.
Because
that's what I'm thinking.
You know, it's gonna happen one way or another. They're gonna team up eventually.
Or Flash will get the Toxin Venom off of Eddie, and Eddie will just go back to living a normal life. Or
they could both be Venom. You know, split half the symbiote. You could split it.
They're not gonna do that. Not right now, anyway. Maybe in the future, but this is a pretty good issue. Straightforward. It's a very straightforward issue. It's the first part, basically. It feels like this is the first part to the new story arc with Toxin. So, definitely a good setup for the whole Toxin versus Venom. We're going to discuss this.
Oh, dear.
Superior Spider-Man issue 5. Everybody's jumping down, you know, saying that this was don't worry, before you guys say anything about, hey, didn't you say you didn't like, I was bored throughout most of this book, too. Spider-Man is becoming like Big Brother now. He gets, oh God, whatever this guy's name is, Uttu to give him this program in his mask that allows him to do like face identification. He gets data about all ex-cons, criminals, and face matches, etc., etc. And artwork's very inconsistent. See, here he looks fat. Here he looks thin. Here he looks thin. There he looks thin. There he looks fat. So, yeah. Pete has a moment, or Doc Ock has a moment with a tutor who thinks she's helping him, but he's actually helping her. And for those of you that saw the preview, you know this already. The artwork is, though, very good. I do like the artwork for the most part. However, Spider-Man is chasing after Massacre. And, you know, Doc Ock just keeps thinking ahead of Pete. Pete's first Doc Ock, Spidey calls the police for backup because he finds out where Massacre is. So the police go there, and I love how Pete's like calling the cops for backup, but I never thought of doing that. And then I love how Doc Ock likes to access Pete's memories and remembers that Massacre likes to hold additional hostages in a separate location and keeps them wired to explosives. So before he actually goes to fight Massacre, he saves the people that he finds strapped to explosives, and he has this little epiphany thing where it's like, what was it? Not long ago I was trying to extinguish almost all life on Earth, and now I'm trying to save it. And this woman says, "Oh, Spider-Man, thank you. I thought I was dead. Thank you so much." He's like, "You're welcome. Now I must go." There's the whole fight between him and Massacre, and Pete's still getting into his head a bit. Because Doc Ock actually saves a kid, and Pete's like, Otto, grab that kid, he's going to get shot. And he saves the kid, but in dodging Massacre's bullets, another person gets shot. And then the whole grand scheme of him foiling Massacre's plans, he actually picks up a gun, shoots him in the arm.
Oh.
And then this is where Pete's like, okay, you beat him, you don't have to go any further. You know, and I love how Doc Ock's like, what should I do? Tell me. And they're like, do it. Kill him. And you see that Massacre finally kind of snapped out. He's like, I can feel, and it feels wonderful. And you see Pete saying, see, he can be saved. There is hope for him because people can. And he's like, this changes nothing. You are who you are. The killer who you'll always be is hiding inside. There's only one solution. And we see him shoot. And we don't see a dead body, by the way.
Yeah.
But we're led to believe that he killed him because the gun is pointed directly at his head. And it turns out that this one woman whom he was working for, or he was going to do business with her by wearing her Mocha-Cola or whatever it was shirt with the Marvel logo sort of on it. And all she had to do was wire him some money, and Doc Ock finds out about that. We got those weird Spidey bots everywhere, and he's like, you better turn yourself in or else you're going to have to deal with me. It's my power, it's my responsibility to watch over you and judge you all. And that's where it leaves off. And the ink on the cover, of course, is a piece of...
In Avengers, the Spider-Man, was that Doc Ock or Peter Parker?
Now it's Doc Ock.
Oh, it is Doc Ock. I thought so.
So everybody's getting mad. Everybody's saying Spider-Man shot Massacre in the head. I didn't see a body. I didn't hear the words shot in head. I love how writers do that, where it makes it look like he shot Massacre in the head. I mean, I was led to believe that when I first read this book, but then I said, wait a minute. We see him fire the gun, but did he actually kill Massacre?
Yeah, because it could have been...
He could have just shot him somewhere else.
Exactly.
He could have shot the floor and not really shot him. Although it did say that, you know, things were... The hostage was incapacitated. The person was incapacitated. I don't know. If he did do it, once again, it's like... We've got the staple of the Marvel Universe, as a lot of people call him, because he is the staple of the Marvel Universe, now killing people. And yes, it's not Peter Parker Spider-Man, it's Doc Ock Spider-Man, but this is an iconic character that has Doc Ock in his brain, and he's doing very, very bad things. How many times in your life would you say you'd like to see Spider-Man shoot somebody in the head?
I never.
Never would have thought of that in a million years, right?
Never, no.
No. So, if he did really shoot Massacre in the head, which... It's 50-50. He could have done it, he might not have done it, and we just didn't see it. Because it's off the panels. But, how many times have you seen Spider-Man hold a gun?
I never in my life saw him hold a gun.
How many times have you seen him shoot somebody?
He never did, because
exactly.
He's a superhero.
So, the whole moral code of it, it's Spider-Man, he is a superhero. I don't give a crap who's in Spider-Man's brain at this time. Yeah, the whole fact that you don't go there.
I mean, he saved the kid, and he's doing, you know, everything.
It's like Doc Ock is mixed. He's half good, but he's still got like
so it's
that
like an
brutal...
anti-hero thing.
Very brutal. Right? Yeah, but it's like...
I don't know. I really thought I'd never see a cover, or in general, Spider-Man hold a gun, use it.
Yeah.
In my Spider-Man.
So Dan Slott continues to upset lots of Spidey fans. I've seen more than one video about this issue already where people are like, this is stupid, I'm done. I know a couple of people that dropped Superior Spider-Man.
Maybe they don't like the way it's going. I mean, it's going like, it's a balance.
I don't know about, I don't think I'm going to be dropping Superior Spider-Man just yet. I want to see the You're Gonna Get Madder issue, which is 5 issues from now. I want to know what's going to get me madder, and that might get me to drop it.
Me especially. I want to know what's going on.
I don't know. I'm going to get the next issue, but I'm not really too entertained by what's going on in the Superior Spider-Man book anymore. I mean, when it started, I was like, okay, it's Doc Ock as Spider-Man, and Peter Parker's there in spirit, so maybe, you know, he'll be like the Jiminy Cricket to Doc Ock.
Or his guardian angel.
Right, and Doc Ock's going to prove that he's smarter than Peter Parker in certain ways, but this is kind of pushing the envelope if he really did shoot somebody and kill them.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. You know, there's... Writers like to pull out emotions in people, and a lot of people are mad. So I don't know if Dan Slott wanted to do that. He's doing a very, very good job of that, and a lot of people don't like it.
But there has to be something that he's trying.
There's got to be some type of master. Yeah, there's some type of master plan.
Because when you put the piece, it's like a puzzle. When you put the pieces together, it gives you the full picture.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like his master plan for Big Time was Peter Parker finally gets the job. You know, he's finally winning. Peter Parker's winning finally. He gets a job. He gets a girlfriend, which is Carly. He's working with the Avengers. Remember that YouTube video that came out of Marvel where it's like Avengers Assemble. It's Spider-Man with the Avengers. Humberto Ramos did the artwork for the first issue.
Oh,
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. And then he fought Doc Ock. And he beat Doc Ock, but then it was all part of this big master plan that was going to happen in Spider-Man 700. So basically now with Superior Spider-Man, everything that happened in Amazing Spider-Man from big time to now is basically getting washed away.
Right.
Yes, I'm making little
yeah.
charts
I was about to
table.
say nicely.
So everything that's gone on in Amazing Spider-Man now, Doc Ock is ruining and now going to make even worse than before.
I don't know how he's gonna.
And then if Peter Parker does get back into his body at some point, oh boy, how are you gonna explain Doc Ock was in my brain for the past however long Peter Parker will be gone?
Well, if they see Spider-Man have the Octobots, then they're gonna know that it led them to Doc Ock.
Spider-Bots.
Or Spider-Bots, yeah. It's got to be something.
I don't know, but
you know,
something's got to give. I would say a year. This time next year, Peter Parker should be back in his body. So it's like,
I hope sooner.
Do we want to hold on to this and wait and see? Then there was the talk about maybe Doc Ock will stay. They'll make a clone body of Peter Parker, and that's where Doc Ock and Doc Ock will stay the Superior Spider-Man and try to redeem himself, and then Amazing Spider-Man will come back with issue 701 and move forward.
Well,
so there'll be Peter Parker, Doc Ock, Superior Spider-Man, and Scarlet Spider, which is Kane.
Then that wouldn't make any sense. Then it would be like
there's 3 Spider-Men then: Doc Ock, Peter Parker, and Kane.
No, Kane I know is the Scarlet Spider-Man. Like that's always. But
yeah, I saw previews of future images of Scarlet Spider, so they're not going to be keeping the Spider Werewolf thing.
Oh, thank God.
So hopefully that'll be done and over with soon.
Man, this whole Spider-Man universe is.
Yeah, things are going up and down, but I'm just not in. I'm ready for Pete to come back now.
Same here, all the way.
I don't know. That's just me. I thought I would give this a chance, and it felt right. It felt good. But I know Dan Slott. Dan Slott works for a master plan. Big Time was the beginning of the master plan of Amazing Spider-Man 700, so maybe Superior Spider-Man 1 is the beginning of the master plan to Peter Parker coming back, or the master plan of the Superior Spider-Man run.
Dan Slott has something that he's trying to put together, and you could tell it's leading to something.
We'll have to wait and see.
That's
the thing. See, I was going to drop a Superior Spider-Man. I wanted to, but then I'm saying, wait a minute, there's a big Spidey event that's going to happen this summer.
Right.
Maybe this is playing part into that.
That's what I'm saying.
So we'll see.
It's a lead up.
We're wasting a lot of time on this, and there's still one book to go, and that's the all new X-Men issue number 8. And in this issue, it's the beginning of the book is Angel, and they're just flying around. Angel wants questions about his future, and the present day Angel's just saying, he says, I don't really remember. I lost most of my memories and whatnot. And then Hydra shows up, and it becomes an Avenger book for a little bit. It's the 2 Angels versus Hydra, and then out of nowhere, of course, when all things look bleak for young Angel, the Avengers show up. That's right, the Avengers show up.
What's wrong with Thor?
I don't know. But then they take out Hydra, and I love how Hawkeye's like, there's 2 of you, right? Because they finally realize that there's 2 Angels, and that's where Captain America's like, hold on a second, and then he shows up at the Jean Grey School of Higher Learning, and him and Beast are having a thing, and it's so funny because Iceman and Kitty Pryde, or Bobby and Kitty, are making a mock of what they're doing. It's like Iceman's pretending to be Cap, and Kitty Pryde's pretending to be
Wolverine.
Well, no, she's pretending to be Beast.
Oh.
And Iceman, I love how at the very end of the whole thing it's like, Hank, so help me, if you know where Scott Summers is and you're not telling me, and then Kitty's like, dear Captain, if I knew where Scott Summers was. And that's when young Scott finally says, you know what, he just walks up to Captain America, and I love this little speech he gives, so I'm going to say, he's like, hello Captain, I've been studying up on the recent events, and I realized that you and I have found ourselves on different sides of the fence on a lot of issues. I just wanted to let you know that I plan on doing everything I can to make it right. I hope you give me a chance. But before that, when Scott's walking up to Captain America and Beast, Cap started the line, and if I find out that insinuating what Iceman was saying, Scott, if you know where Scott Summers is, and see how it plays in there, how they basically got it right. Wow. And Wolverine even gives him prop. He's like, nicely done. He's like, you're welcome. And Cap's like, okay, just please promise me you have this under control. He's like, I don't have anything in control. Well, keep me in the loop. There is no loop. And he's like, I'll do my best to keep you to keep you up to date, Cap. That's the best I can do. He's like, that's all I ask. Goodbye, Avengers. And then the creepiest and most wow ending ever. We see Warren from the past trying to go back to the past from the present. And he's freaking out. He's going crazy. And all of a sudden he just stops. He has this big tantrum. He's freaking out. And then he just stops dead in his speech. And then he's just like, hey, what's for lunch? And then everybody's like, what? What the hell's going on? And then you see Jean Grey walk in and say, he'll be fine. We're not going back. We're staying. It was decided. He needed to calm down, so I helped him calm down. And then in the end, she's like, I can read your minds. Stop worrying. I'm in total control. That is the creepiest, most... Look at how the X-Men are like in complete shock.
Just leave it to Jean to solve all your problems.
No, but it's like Jean Grey is becoming one dark person, and she's not even... That was like the most... You said we're staying, so... It's like, we're staying, and if you don't agree with me, I can read your mind, and I can manipulate your mind, bitch. That's exactly what it looked like at the end. And Warren's not so upset about being in the present anymore, but man, that's like Psycho Gene already. It's like, we said we're staying, and we're staying. I don't want to hear anything.
Discussion.
The end. Or else I'm going to make you want to stay. And it's like... So this is definitely setting up to be... I
just be quiet and I say, okay, you're the boss.
This is setting up to be something big. This is my favorite book out of Marvel this week, and there really weren't that many books that I could say I really enjoyed this week from Marvel, save Venom and maybe Cable and X-Force's ending, and the Avengers kind of left me all like what. But this is my favorite book out of Marvel this week. I loved it. Brian Michael Bendis is just hitting it out of the park with the X-Men, that's for sure, and I just can't wait for the next issue. This is just really, really good. I enjoyed it. So between this and Green Lantern, but Green Lantern I think takes the cake for this week, because the beginning of this book was all about the two angels, and that was like, okay, and then the fight with Hydra was like, okay. It was humorous, the part with the Avengers and the X-Men, and then the ending with Jean was like, so, yeah. The ending definitely made this book, and it was just awesome. So, that's it for this week, guys.
So I'll go behind the camera. So later, guys.
Yes. So let's round out this week. First of all, don't forget to check out comicrelated.com as well as bkbn.net for all your comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Links in the description to everything else, as well as a link to the commercial that was in between parts 1 and 2 of this video. That was our commercial break for this week. There will be more as time goes on, I promise you guys. So, all new X-Men, issue number 8. Awesome. Definitely something you guys should check out. Superior Spider-Man issue 5. I'm going to hold on to it until I see what this major event's going to be with Spider-Man. Venom issue 32 is pretty good. Definitely check it out. Avengers issue 7. Oh, that's up to you guys. Cable and X-Force number 5, I leave up to you guys. Iron Man number 7, I leave up to you guys. Age of Ultron issue 1, hello and goodbye. I'll see you in trade paperback form, maybe. My favorite book this week was definitely Green Lantern issue 18. Green Arrow issue 18.
Awesome issue. I hope it keeps going that way. You guys gotta get it.
Really loved and recommend you guys check out Swamp Thing and Animal Man issue 18 and Smallville issue 11. It was awesome to see the blue energy, or the Smallville version of the Superman blue energy costume. Loved it. Awesome. Up there, we took a vote. You guys took the vote. I just passed the vote out there. First figure that's going to be reviewed is in the center. Then Iron Patriot, and then we'll see about the last 2 figures. But this week, expect a review of the Venom Marvel Select figure, followed next week probably by the Iron Patriot figure. So figure reviews are going to start up now, and they'll continue for, yeah, ever. And ever and ever and ever and ever. The end. There's a lot of Marvel Legend figures coming out that I want. Scarlet Spider is definitely one of them. Alright guys, take care, keep reading, keep collecting. I will see you guys really soon in another video on here, or on Dark Avenger Inc., or definitely somewhere. Take care, everybody.
Later, guys.